Hey, Clip listeners, do you ever feel like you're juggling your script, your show prep, your questions, and monitoring your recording on the fly? I get it. I know what it's like, and that's why I'm here to tell you about Riverside's new Teleprompter feature. It's built right into Riverside's platform, so you can have your show prep on screen and scroll as you record, all within the session window. No more tab switching, app juggling. It's a pain doing that on the fly, and now you're not going to have to because this Teleprompter feature is game-changing. You can pause it, slow it down, speed it up, even replay, whatever you need to do to stay organized and calm during your session. I think it just makes podcasting a lot easier. And for me personally, it makes me less anxious when I'm in the middle of a recording. So if you're looking to smooth out your delivery and keep things organized while podcasting, you should check out Riverside's Teleprompter feature. I think you're going to like it. And hey, you can use promo code CLIPPED, that's CLIPPED, to snag 20% off of any individual membership plan. That's CLIPPED for 20% off any individual plan, and you're going to start flowing like never before.
Explain something.
Yes. What up, potty people, and welcome back to Clipped. I'm Eric, your host, and Clipped is a podcast that brings you podcast resources, podcast education, industry insights, and conversations with my podcasting pals, all aimed at helping you navigate your podcast journey. I'm on a mission to help you start, grow, and monetize your show. Today, I'm taking a closer look at 4 exceptional USB microphones. And I'm doing this because I want to provide you with some options for microphones. Maybe you don't know where to begin. Maybe you're new. Maybe you're ready to upgrade your current microphone. These are 4 really awesome USB microphones that are essentially plug and play via USB, but they also have XLR connections within them. So maybe you are that intermediate podcaster and you're ready to upgrade to a better sounding microphone. You don't actually have to do that because of the XLR connection. All you would need to do is buy an audio interface and then connect one of these microphones to it via XLR. So you don't have to upgrade 2 things. You don't have to go to like the brand new XLR microphone and the brand new audio interface. These mics are great because when you're ready to upgrade, boom, you buy the audio interface and then you start connecting the microphone via XLR, and it's going to give you a little bump in your audio production. And these mics are honestly favorites in the scene, at least 3 of them. I'm giving you a curveball with the very last one that you probably haven't heard of if you're in the space. And if you're new, you may have not heard of any of these, but these are all quality microphones, some of them favorites by podcasters of all levels. And I'm going to give you a rundown on each, covering some features, covering why I like them, and kind of use cases for each one. And this was actually recorded with the different microphones. So you're going to hear how each microphone sounds, and that'll, give you an idea of the type of tone you like. And then if you're interested, you can go ahead and buy that microphone or any one of these microphones. I will put a link in the show notes. It'll be an affiliate link to Amazon. So if you do buy it, I get a small kickback. And that's a great way that you can support the podcast. So without further ado, let's give it a go. First up is the Shure MV7. This is kind of like the younger sister of the Shure SM7B, but Shure actually designed this for podcasters, for gamers, streamers, YouTubers, that kind of thing. Here's how the microphone sounds as I talk. You can follow along, you can listen, make sure you're wearing headphones. That way you can pick up on the nuances of what I'm saying. But the MV7 is a dynamic microphone and it offers a little bit of a similar sound. Personally, I think it lacks a little bit of oomph or a little bit of fullness, but it kind of brings something new to the table because you can connect it via XLR and USB, meaning you can basically use this professional podcast mic on the go. If you don't have an audio interface and you don't connect via XLR, boom, just plug it into your computer and boom, it's plug and play, super easy to use. One standout feature of the MV7 is the touch panel controls where you can mute and you can actually, if you're using it via USB, up the gain. Plus, when you buy the microphone, you get access to the Shure Motiv app. That's MOTIV. And you get access to features like mic gain, monitor mix, EQ, compression. So you can actually change the tonal characteristics of it within the app. So it's a dynamic mic, so it's built to reduce background noise and really isolate the sound that's coming right in front of it. So you're not going to get a lot of room tone, which is key for recording a podcast in less than desirable situations, like in a bedroom or in a place that isn't treated with acoustic panels. It's still a little bit pricey compared to entry-level podcast mics. However, if you're looking for good audio quality combined with like the modern features, the MV7 could be a good investment. Check it out. So the next mic is the Samson Q2U. That's Samson, not to be confused with Samsung. It's the Q2U. It's a dynamic microphone, which is rad. And honestly, this mic sounds really good. And it's the least expensive microphone in the bunch. And this is also USB and XLR. So you're going to have that flexibility. You could start with the USB connection. And then, hey, if you want to upgrade at a later point and get yourself an audio interface, you don't have to upgrade the mic and buy a new mic because you can just plug this one in via XLR. A lot of these podcast mics nowadays are both XLR and USB, so I love that. So this thing delivers crisp audio. You can hear it now. It's got a cardioid pickup pattern, which means it's going to pick up the audio that's mainly coming from directly in front of it. It's going to reduce some of that ancillary room tone, which we love. When you buy the microphone, it comes with a windscreen, which is going to help with those popped keys. It also comes with a mic clip and a little stand. The stand is kind of shitty, to be honest. I don't recommend you use that. Get yourself a good stand or a boom arm. There is an on and off switch on this mic. With this mic, you're going to be able to record through a frequency spectrum from 50 hertz to 15,000 kilohertz. So you're going to be able to capture the low end. If you have a low bassy voice, you're going to be able to capture some nice lows, and then it's going to shine at 15 kilohertz. I'm going to get some airy top end to your voice, which is great. It's also kind of a warm mic. I got to say, I'm listening to it now, and it kind of adds some warmth, even though it's digitally connected. It has a good natural warm sound to it. And that emphasis on speech and voice is why you get this thing. Great to have in your toolkit, travel with it, boom, super easy to plug it in, and you're going to be sounding like you know what you're doing. You're going to be sounding like you're up there with top podcasters. And another thing that's great about this is it can actually capture really quiet, sensitive sounds. So if you have a lot of range to your voice, if 1 minute you're laughing in the show and the next minute you're kind of chilled out and talking quiet, it's going to be able to capture some of those softer sounds, which I love. Oh, and this thing also has a headphone jack, so you can plug your headphones directly into the microphone itself. So that is going to give you that near zero latency when you hear your voice in your headphones. You got to wear headphones. That's a whole nother conversation. You can plug them into the laptop, like I mentioned on the other mics earlier, but you plug these headphones right in, and you're going to get that crisp, clear sound. Durable build. Love this microphone. Get the one in black. You're going to thank me later. Don't get the other one. This one looks sick. So if you have a video podcast, it actually is going to look great on camera as well. This is the Samson Q2U dynamic microphone. Yes. So moving on, this is the Audio-Technica ATR2100X. I recommend everybody have one of these microphones in their kit, whether it's your go-to mic or your backup mic, because it's USB and XLR. And honestly, there's people on the top of Apple's podcast charts using this microphone because it sounds damn good. This thing has a headphone jack built into it, so you can actually monitor in real time. And what that means is there's going to be zero latency. So you're going to be hearing in the cans in real time your voice and or your guest voice coming out of the mic. Sometimes, depending on your setup, if you plug the headphones into the computer, you might get a couple millisecond delay, but this headphone jack that's built in prevents that. You're going to get a nice, clean, crisp sound straight from the mic. But this mic has an extended frequency response that is ideally suited for voice and for podcasting. It sounds great in a home studio. The best part about this is that it's a really affordable microphone. You can probably find this on Amazon for under $80, and I'll link to it in the description. It's also a dynamic microphone. Hint, hint, they're all dynamic microphones because that's what I want you using for podcasting, because dynamic microphones give you a nice rich tone and they reject ambient noise. That's most important. Most of us aren't recording in a acoustically treated studio. We're probably in a bedroom, kitchen, living room, something. So you need a mic that's going to reject reverb and an ambient tone that you don't want in your recording. But this thing offers great value for the money. It really does. And so you should definitely have one of these in your kit. It's a solid choice for both beginners and intermediate podcasters. And this is how it sounds. Please don't pop your P's. It sounds like they're hitting them pretty hard. Can you hear those P's? Sometimes if you tilt it slightly off axis, you'll get a little bit less of that. Please don't pop your P's. Please don't pop your P's. Please don't pop your P's. And it's getting hot as hell in here, but let's move on to mic number 4. Maono actually sent this to me, and so you're hearing this for the first time just as I am. This is the PD200X. Pretty much straightforward and easy to use this mic. Stoked about the shock mount. It does the job. It holds the microphone in place, and this is how it sounds. I've got the gain on the same settings as I do the other mic, and I'll do a little popped P test. Please don't pop your P's. Please don't pop your P's. Please don't pop your P's. Maybe that's even better than the other microphones with the plosive reduction. But anyway, it's geared toward podcasters, specifically gamers, streamers, YouTubers. It's also a really budget-friendly option, under $100. And this thing has a mute button on, but I've noticed that, well, I'm not muted now, so I'm going to actually use the USB and plug this in and be right back. All right, so here's the Maono PD200X connected via USB. And like I imagined, it does light up, which is very cool. There's also a mute button here on top. I actually kind of like that because I'm a loud breather. And so sometimes when I'm interviewing people, and I'll cut it in post, but I'll notice myself on my track while they're talking, you can hear me breathing, and it's really annoying and it drives me nuts. But hey, if I got this, all I got to do is click it on and boom. So it does light up too, which is rad. I think that's probably cooler for gaming. I don't know if people are like gaming in the dark with all these like lights and stuff. I think that would look dope. But here's how it sounds via USB. Can you tell the difference? I think it has a little bit of a modulation quality. If I get too close, it almost sounds a little more hollow bodied, but I don't mind it. I think it sounds just fine. And I think if you're in a quiet room, you're going to get a desirable result. So the Maono PD200X, yeah, international company, cool mic, rad mic. I appreciate that they sent it to me. I'm digging this. I can take this on the road, set it up via USB. I like to have options, and I think it's important for you to start thinking about options. So check it out. Alrighty, guys, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening, and thank you for checking out these microphones. Hopefully one of them kind of sparked your interest. You got to see how they sound. And if you have any other questions about microphones, head on over to the podcasthaven.com and you can fill out the contact form. I'm happy to talk about gear and equipment and maybe what microphone is best for your specific situation. The goal with this show, and specifically this episode, is just to provide knowledge and education about different podcast equipment, specifically in this one, podcast microphones. And no doubt, whatever microphone you choose, if it's one of these 4, you're going to be sounding good on the microphone. And so that's the podcasthaven.com. Fill out the contact form. I'm happy to chat, and I'm happy to help you along on your podcasting journey. Until then, keep listening, keep engaging, keep creating. I'm out.